everyone, welcome back to my channel Cyber with Abhi. In today's video, we are going to discuss about OWASP top 10 vulnerabilities. Before we jump into the actual top 10 vulnerabilities, we need to know what is OWASP top 10 and why it is important. OWASP stands for Open Web Application Security Project. It was published in the year of 2003. It is an awareness documentation created for most critical security risks facing by web applications. It outlines us about the 10 most critical vulnerabilities in the web application. List of the top 10 vulnerabilities updated periodically to reflect the latest trends and threats in the web security. The latest version was published in the year of 2021. Why OWASP Top 10? It helps educate developers and security professionals about the most critical vulnerabilities. By understanding this, they can promote better protection to their applications. It provides a clear framework for developers to ensure that the security is considered throughout the development process. OWASP Top 10 is widely recognized and adopted across the industry. Many organizations use this for security practices. By addressing the vulnerabilities listed in the OWASP Top 10, organizations can significantly improve their overall security posture. OWASP Top 10 vulnerabilities. I listed the latest version of the OWASP Top 10 here. Broken access control. It occurs when an application does not properly enforce authentication and authorization mechanism. This allows users to access resources and data without any restrictions. By using these kind of vulnerabilities, attacker can get unauthorized access such as viewing other user account, modifying records or changing permissions. To prevent from these kind of vulnerabilities, implement access control mechanism once and reuse them throughout the application. Enable web server directory listing and ensure file metadata and backup files are not present within the web routes. Cryptographic failures. It occurs when sensitive data is exposed to unauthorized entities. It can happen when the cryptographic algorithms are not implemented correctly. This attack can lead to data breaches, identity theft, reputational damage, and unauthorized access. It can be caused by using outdated cryptographic algorithm, improper key management, and failing to encrypt sensitive data. To prevent from these kind of vulnerabilities, don't store sensitive data unnecessarily. To make sure, encrypt all the sensitive data. Ensure up-to-date and strong standard algorithm, protocol and keys are in place. Use proper key management. Encrypt all the data in transit with secure protocols. Injection attack. It occurs when an attacker exploits a web application by sending malicious code into the system. Injection attacks such as SQL injection, NoSQL injection, LDPA injection, HTML injection, etc. It occurs when the input sent by the user is executed without proper validation. It can be prevented by using proper server-side input validation, limiting and other SQL controls within the queries. Insecure design. It is a category of risk that refers to weakness in the design and the architecture that can be exploited by attacker. Design flaws can lead to exploitable vulnerabilities that are hard to detect and fix. Can be caused because of lack of threat modeling and not incorporating security requirements. It can be prevented by establishing and use a secure development lifecycle with application using thread model for critical authentication. Write unit and integration test to validate that critical flaw. Security misconfiguration. It occurs when an organization does not properly implement security settings. It can be caused by insufficient access control, not applying security patches and updates, incorrect firewall rules, unencrypted data transmission. To prevent from security misconfiguration, we can remove or don't install unused features and frameworks. Vulnerable and outdated components. A software component that has no longer supported by the developer, which means there is no patch or update available for the software. If we install these kind of software means it is outdated version, it has no patch available. If it is vulnerable means it affects our system too. These components can possess a significant risk to the web application and can be easily exploited by attackers by launching some common attacks known as SQL injection, cross-site scripting, remote code execution, etc. It can be prevented by removing unused dependencies, unnecessary features and files, and also monitor the libraries and components that are unmaintained. Identification and authentication failure. As we already know, Authentication means verifying the user identity. If a system or software fails to verify the identification of the entity means it is vulnerable. This can lead to unauthorized access to the sensitive data. These kind of attack can be occurred due to weak password, inadequate session management and lack of multi-factor authentication. This attack can be prevented by using confirmation of user identity and session management. Don't reuse session identifier after successful login. These attacks can be easily achieved when the attacker has a list of valid username and passwords. Software and data integrity failure. This vulnerability arises when the software does not perform integrity checks and also allowing unauthorized users to modify the data. This can lead to alter the sensitive data. This vulnerability occurs when the software not using digital signature and lack of file integrity checks. Prevention mechanism can be achieved by using digital signatures or other similar mechanism to verify the software or data's integrity. Ensure CA/CD pipeline has been configured or not. Configure access control mechanism to ensure the integrity of the code. Review if the components has known vulnerability or not by using OWASP dependency check or OWASP Cyclone DX. Security login and monitoring failure. There is no direct vulnerability that can arise due to this issue. But if this is absent means it can directly impact in incident alerting. It is important to have a functional login and monitoring system. This vulnerability arises due to login failed attempts does not logged. System logs are not backed and also not protected for integrity. Proper monitoring and alerting system configuration. Prevent from this vulnerability, establish effective monitoring and alerting to detect suspicious activity and respond to that quickly. Ensure all logs are encoded to prevent from attack. Establish incident response and recovery plan. Ensure all the login, access control and server-side input validation failure can be logged to identify suspicious or malicious accounts. Server-side request forgery. By using this attack, attacker can trick a server to making requests to the internal or external resources. This attack can be easily achieved by manipulating URL, bypassing input validation and exploit trust relationship. This can lead to unauthorized access to the internal resources and data leakage. To perform prevention mechanism for SSRF, we can sanitize and validate all the input supplied from the client side. Establish firewall rules based on application. Disable HTTP redirection. In this video, we have discussed about what is OWASP Top 10 and about the top 10 vulnerabilities. Understanding these critical vulnerabilities is essential for building a secure web application. I hope this video is useful for you. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more cybersecurity and tech tips. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Stay safe and secure in the digital world. Thank you.